Illini 6-1, ranked 20th in the nation, and the tip is won by Guerrier of Illinois, but right into the hands of the Owls, and before you can blink, Davis lays it in.
One of the things that Florida Atlantic works on is creative finishes around the basket. They can get to the rim, but even if you challenge it, they can finish creatively around the basket.
Illinois is a much bigger team. Everybody's 6'5", 6'6", 6'8", as Quincy Guerrier, the former Syracuse Orange and Oregon Duck, ties it up. 4 guards for Florida Atlantic. Jay, they are shorter, but that does not mean that they're not willing to tangle it up with some bigger guys.
They are tough, and if you think they look like a bunch of Boy Scouts when they're doing interviews and what nice young men they are, when they get on the court, they're a motorcycle gang. They're incredibly competitive, and they give not an inch on a competitive basis.
Of course, one of the great stories of last season in college basketball, went 35-4, had a 20-game winning streak, were a 9 seed, went all the way to the Final Four. And the only thing that kept him out of the national championship game was a last-second shot by San Diego State, Lamont Butler, to put the Aztecs into the final against UConn. And don't call them a Cinderella. They won 20 in a row. They were great all season long. They don't want to be known as a Cinderella.
Cinderella might have been fair last year, not this year. What a great play by Golden. The pass was tipped, but he got right around Ty Rodgers, just went for the ball.
Dusty May, 6th year as the head coach of the Owls, and after the Final Four run, things are pretty good. A, he coaches and lives in Boca, and B, he signed a new 10-year contract. Dusty May's in a good spot right now.
Former manager at Indiana for Bob Knight. Spent 4 years getting donuts for Coach Knight. And that concoction he used to drink of like Dr. Pepper and chocolate milk and lemonade or whatever it was.
Yeah, we're not making this up. For 4 years, he was a student manager on the Indiana basketball team, got a video coordinator job at USC, then started coaching, and all these years later, he could have gone elsewhere. The players could have gone elsewhere. Nobody transferred out. The coach didn't leave. They're back to try to take another run out.
Got a great demeanor, doesn't he? Not just on the sidelines, but in practice.
Coleman Hawkins, who can shoot the 3, can't get the shot off.
And Hawkins can pull Vlad Golden away from the basket.
Second game back after some knee discomfort cost him 3 games. Misses the 3, and the rebound down to Brandon Weatherspoon. And one thing Florida Atlantic wants to do, rip and go, get the rebound and push it up the court.
Any one of 4 guys can grab a rebound and take off. Now Golden will make an outlet. Everybody else will rip and run. That makes them quicker in transition.
And a moving screen called on Golden. On the other side, Brad Underwood is in his 7th season as the head coach of the Illini. A couple of trips to the second round of the NCAA tournament. They were a #1 seed 3 years ago. He went into the portal this past offseason to get older, and they did. They got 3 grad transfers, and he talked to us about how connected and competitive his team is this year.
Yeah, he really likes the fact that these guys want to play 5-on-5. They're not interested in just doing drills. They want to play, and that's a fun way to coach.
Terrence Shannon has it knocked off him out of bounds, so a turnover on the Illini.
The help defense for Florida Atlantic doesn't come over just to be in position. They come over to take the ball from you. They've got great hands. They are very active, and they talk.
And you got to look at Giancarlo Rosado, a junior from West Palm Beach, number 3 in red. He's into the game after Golden picked up that foul. Elijah Martin, beautiful little pass inside, but a travel is called to turn it back over to Illinois.
Not a clean catch, just a little shuffle as he was shot faking. But Rosado's really a skilled player, an excellent passer. And any time that you see either Elijah Martin, John L. Davis, they get by somebody, especially on pick and roll, they'll snake it and change directions. They're really hard to stay in front of.
Ty Rodgers, big, strong guard, very good at getting into the paint and posting up. But he turns it over. Honestly, he's very good at getting into the paint and posting up. But it looks like Illinois might try to use their size advantage on the perimeter by posting up their guards.
Well, they may try it, but it's going to be really difficult, I think, against Florida Atlantic because they're tough. And John L. Davis there was going under every screen against Ty Rodgers because he's not a threat to shoot it. So they're going to be looking to protect the paint on everybody except Luke Goody and certainly Terrence Shannon. Everybody else, they're going to protect the paint on him.
Martin misses the 3. And down with the rebound is Guerrier, and a held ball is the call. And on the possession arrow, it'll belong to Illinois.
You bring it down, which you're going up for a rebound. It's natural to bring it down when you're grabbing it. Florida Atlantic is there to grab it. Now watch the hands. I think it was John L. Davis was one of the guys in there, and they're, along with Weatherspoon, they're going after the ball. I mean, they're not conceding anything.
The Owls can switch just about anywhere, 1 through 4 certainly. Marcus Damask, a grad transfer from Southern Illinois, who's been a very valuable player so far for the Illini. There's another grad transfer in Quincy Guerrier, but he is called for the charge.
It's a long drive, a nice shot fake by Guerrier, but the help defense was there before he was able to get to his plant foot. It's not before he leaves the floor, it's before he gets to his plant foot, and the official thought he was there. So one of the things that Florida Atlantic does on offense, Dan, it's not the initial action. They attack help so well. Great steal by Coleman Hawkins.
Well, that's a 5-man stealing a bounce pass and then leading them up into the front court, making a great pass. And Guerrier a little bit too strong on the 3.
He needs one of those to go. I think he's 3 of 19 now from three-point range after that miss.
And a guy who at times in his career with either Syracuse or Oregon has shot it well, but he has been a streaky shooter over the course of his collegiate career.
Well, he's a much better shooter than 3 of 19 or 3 of 20, whatever it is.
Rosado can't get it to go. And there's a lid on both baskets right now. Terrence Shannon yet to get going for Illinois. He's a potential All-American, a 20-point-a-game guy. That's him with the ball. What a steal. Boy, Elijah Martin just kind of read the eyes there of Shannon and picked it off.
He was like a linebacker that's reading the eyes of the quarterback and taking that right out of the air.
The 3 around and out for Brian Greenlee, a senior from Gainesville, Florida, who has checked in off the bench. Guerrier in transition, and that won't go down. The looks have been pretty good, but the ball's not falling for anybody, and there's an impressive block shot by Terrence Shannon Jr. to take us to our first timeout. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Corona Extra. Find the fine life. Live La Vida Más Fina. And in part by Panera. $0 delivery fee for a limited time.
These two teams battling it out for the Sweet 16. Here's Davis down the left of the lane. Throws one up on the left hand. Blast and goes. Feeds it out to Boyd. Tied at 54. Kicks it out to Martin. He'll try the 3. It's good. Florida Atlantic Owls. They are heading to the Elite 8 for a date with Kansas State with 15 to shoot. Over to Martin. 3, top of the key. Count it. Big answer. One blow after another. What a run by the FAU Owls. It bounces to Noel. Across midcourt with 5. And he's not fouled. They give it to Massoud. 1 second. Has ripped out by Davis. Time runs out. Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic. FAU are going to the Final Four.
So great memories for the Owls when they walked into MSG, because this is the very building where they beat Tennessee and Kansas State in the Sweet 16 and then the Elite 8 to advance to the Final Four. Here's what they had done in the previous 4 years under Dusty May. They had been building, they had been competitive, but then last year they just took it to another level. And again, this year they've got everybody back except for one player, Michael Forrest, who exhausted his eligibility last year. So you know their confidence, Jay, is sky high for what they might be able to accomplish this season.
Well, they know they're good, and they are. They are legit. And I haven't seen a team out there they can't beat. They can beat anybody.
John L. Davis. And it bounces off the rim. Down with the rebound for Illinois is Damask.
Other than some turnover issues, you know, both teams are getting shots that they want. They're just not making them right now.
Well, there's a guy who can shoot the basketball. Luke Goody, a 6'7" junior from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Didn't play a whole lot last year. Had a foot injury that cost him most of the season, but he can be a lights-out three-point shooter.
An elite shooter. You have to run him off that three-point line. He doesn't do a lot of scoring outside of three-point shooting, but an excellent communicator.
Martin guarded by Shannon. What a great matchup that is, and what a nice pass inside. Hawkins called for the foul.
Boy, just a beautiful cut by Rosado. He ghosted out of that ball screen and just looped around underneath. But here you can see Damask gets, you'll see Luke Goody setting screens because he can pick and pop. So you give too much attention to the ball. He just pops out for that catch and shoot opportunity. He was hurt last year and wasn't able to play as much, but he's used in pick and roll a lot in that fade pop action and is really effective when he's allowed to catch and shoot.
So here's Rosado, who has been a tremendously productive player in limited minutes, getting about 15 minutes per game and averaging 9 points and 5 rebounds per game in those 15 minutes. That's a pretty good combo with Golden the starter and then Rosado taking his place.
Well, especially the fact they're different players. You know, Rosado's more of a playmaker that makes really good decisions, and he's a passing big guy. But he uses screens well, and in dribble handoffs, he'll keep it sometimes and take it himself. But the fact that he can pass out of pressure gives his teammates a lot of confidence. They cut, he's going to find them.
Shannon looking to get going, and the lefty lays it in with the right to tie the game.
And used his left arm to ward off Rosado and put him right in the stanchion.
Boy, how many guys are better at downhill driving and getting to the rim than Terrence Shannon Jr.?
Especially with his speed. It's a combination of speed and power. Now watch this drive. He's left-handed. He goes right. Now watch his left arm. Just goes right into Rosado, wards him off, and pushed him right into the stanchion and still kept his eyes on the rim to finish it. I mean, outside of Zach Edey of Purdue, who was the Big Ten Player of the Year last year and likely to be again this year, I mean, I'm not sure Terrence Shannon's not the next best player.
Agreed. One thing he worked on in the summer, Brad Underwood told us, is he's so fast, is when to go 100, when to go 75, because changing speeds can be as important as how much raw speed you have.
Well, actually, Brad was telling us too that he probably changed it a little bit too much, and now they're trying to speed him up a little bit again. But you can see, started out at Texas Tech, he's gotten better every year, and he's been spectacular early in this season, shooting over 50%, 46% from three. He gets to the foul line. But defensively, like, he plays hard on both ends of the floor.
Let's get more on Shannon with Angel.
He hasn't just worked on his shot. He also worked on being a better leader. He said it's a hard task, and he's definitely had uncomfortable moments. But what's made it special and rewarding is how he's grown as a person and leader by building relationships with each player. He talked about their trip to Spain, having 3 grad transfers on the roster. He said, we became so close in understanding what we needed to be, created a group chat, Arizona 2024, and they're all in for it.
Arizona, of course, Glendale, Arizona, the site of the Final Four this year. So that's why they're calling it that. All 4 of the teams you will see here tonight, very talented and with very high hopes. Rosado's got to look at the basket. He's got to put it up. And the rebound down to Shannon.
Yeah, not the best offensive possession for Florida Atlantic, but the last possession down, they did a great job of keeping Luke Goody off the line.
Shannon the assist. Dane Danger with the basket to put the Illini on top.
Danger started his career at Baylor, and they call him the Dancing Bear. He's got great footwork, but he just locked down in that low post.
Hawkins and Danger, pretty good combo with the 5 spot for Illinois. Rosado banks home a 3. What do you think they call that play?
Never again.
Damask coast to coast at the other end to put the Illini back on top.
Right, Marcus Damask has been a really nice addition. Came in from Southern Illinois, played 4 years there. He's probably 23 years old. But he can really handle it. He can play point guard. He can take you down into the post. He just got a great court sense.
That's his first third-team foul.
Guerrier back into the game for Illinois. Rogers as well. And John L. Davis checking back in for the Owls as Elijah Martin will get his first break of the night.
It was really smart, I think, of Dusty May after that first foul that Vlad Golden picked up to get him out of there for a little while. Oftentimes, a big guy picks up a foul. He can't afford to have him in foul trouble in this game. He's got to be available.
Boy, great ball pressure by the Owls.
They just push him so far out on the floor.
Danger, and there's some help, and a held ball, and the possession arrow will turn it back over to Florida Atlantic.
As soon as he spun back, Laurent was right there and went after it with both hands instead of slapping at it.
Competitive start, 1-point lead for the Illini early in this one.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. Plus America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or $2,500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Jimmy, my man up there, we are not going to stop chasing the dream to beat cancer.
You're stronger than you know.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Welcome back to the Jimmy V Classic presented by Corona, coming to you as always from Madison Square Garden here in New York City. Nearby Bryant Park, very busy as everything is, especially around the holidays here in New York City. Dan Schulman, Jay Billis, Angel Gregg, glad you're along with us for this doubleheader. Florida Atlantic and Illinois in a close one in game one, and we've got UConn and Carolina, top 10 matchup in game two. Let's go cross court now to Angel Gregg.
Coach, you started the game 1 for 5 from the field, but since that timeout, you found some offense. What's been different about your rhythm?
Well, our defense was pretty good, but we turned the ball over a little bit early. We got some good shots. We just missed a couple layups in there. And then I think we just settled in. I think we were a little too high, a little upbeat, and we'll settle in here.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thanks.
Second year in a row, the Illini have played here in the Jimmy V Classic. And how about Terrence Shannon Jr.? When he was with Texas Tech, they played here twice. This is the 4th time in his 5 years in college he has played in this event in this building.
Got to be some kind of record,
I would think. His records are safe in the Jimmy V Classic.
High-low action, cross screen, but pretty well defended by Illinois. They're putting good pressure on the ball. It's difficult to see in.
And again, they've got size at every position on the floor. Big guards.
Thought that was a double dribble.
The basket for Brennan Lorien, the sophomore from Ocala, Florida. Davis guarding Shannon. Shannon uses the screen off the glass and good.
Glad Golden was in drop coverage right in the middle of the lane. And Shannon was able to pick off his defender and get downhill. He just goes right into your body. Really strong.
Jalen Gaffney, a sweet bounce pass into Vlad Golden.
Golden is an elite pick and roll big guy. When he rolls to the basket, he rolls hard. He can catch a short roll and make a pass out of it, but he can also lock you down underneath off the roll.
Also, like Shannon, started his career at Texas Tech, so they're former teammates, and now a turnover by Illinois. 6 turnovers already committed by the Illini.
Good number of them have been forced.
Danger didn't commit a foul, but it's out of bounds off him.
Take a look off the screen roll. Danger in drop coverage playing back, but the roll, Danger too much time on the ball. You got to recover to Vlad Golden. You can't stay with the ball there. That's not the concern. And Vlad Golden gets an easy one. And you run that in the middle of the floor, you're not going to help off the wings because you're giving up a 3.
Are teams that are really good at defending the pick and roll, is it just great communication? Is it just experience of I'll go here, you go there? What makes them good?
It's mostly communication between the pick and roll defenders, and especially the guy guarding the screener. Now you have to make a decision. If you're in drop coverage, you're going to be off, so you can discourage the drive, but you have to get back to the roll, especially in the middle of the floor, because nobody can tag that roll from coming off a guy at the three-point line because you're giving up a three.
Numbers for the Owls, and up top, Hawkins knocks it away, but Davis there to clean it up.
Davis kind of hesitated on that pass, held it a little bit longer, but able to get it back.
Davis averaging 13.6 points per game. He's the second leading scorer on this team, but they really spread the offense around. On any given night, it could be any one of 5 or 6 different guys. Damask with a nice mid-range jumper to bring Illinois back within 3.
Kept his defender on his hip and then able to get it up over Golden as he tried to close out. And that's what Damask has got a great feel.
And the corner 3 for Brian Greenlee.
Well, you get caught in no man's land trying to help off and you're not really helping. And then you got to recover. And Greenlee's excellent in catch and shoot situations, and he hits big shots.
And the Owls, a good three-point shooting team on the season, better than 38% as a team.
Greenlee's open.
Davis no. Golden weak side rebound, and he can't finish.
He hardly ever misses those. He's shooting 75%. That leads the nation. I guess 75%, he hardly misses anything.
Justin Harmon, a grad transfer from Utah Valley, knocks down a big three for the Illini.
You know the nickname of Utah Valley?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that.
Well, then why didn't you prepare if you knew it?
Because I prepared for Western Illinois.
The Wolverines will lay off the hook. Ooh, not a good foul by Golden.
That'll be the second on Golden with 8:18 to go in the half. Saturday college basketball continues on ESPN. Wisconsin and Arizona from Tucson at 3:15 Eastern time. Arizona now the #1 team of the nation. Kansas is #2, and they'll take on an old rival in Missouri. Great doubleheader Saturday on ESPN.
I think people will be fired up for that Missouri-Kansas game.
Just a bit. You've done some of those over the years, I would imagine.
I haven't done a Missouri-Kansas game.
Oh,
That's
really?
back in the day. No, I did a lot of Missouri-Illinois games.
Yes. That was me sitting beside you when you did some of those games.
I don't really care who's sitting beside me. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Oh, I've noticed.
Not a good foul by Golden. That was one to just let go and put late pressure on it, because now that's going to take him out perhaps for the rest of the half. We'll see what Dusty May decides. He's an experienced player, but I'm not sure you take the risk, and certainly when you've got a lead.
Good minutes for Harmon off the bench for the Illini. He'll sit down as Shannon returns. Harmon scored 5 points in a hurry for Illinois.
You know, speaking of that Kansas-Missouri game, we were just at Allen Fieldhouse for UConn, Kansas, and that place was as loud as I've ever heard it. But some people say it wasn't as loud as when Thomas Robinson blocked that shot against Missouri.
Traveling call on Rosado. You and I had about as loud a week as you can have. Duke down at Arkansas, and Bud Walton was just crazy all night long, and then UConn at Kansas on Friday night. That is a loud week.
That was an ear-ringing week.
Yes.
Good switches. All the switches by Florida Atlantic, they're switching up to take something away. It's not a passive switch, it's an aggressive switch.
3-point lead for the Owls, and their head coach Dusty May will join Angel Gray on the other side of this timeout.
Maybe he'll have a donut for her.
Check out Honda certified pre-owned vehicles. They are like new and only available at your local Honda dealer. Checked, inspected, and reconditioned with genuine Honda parts by factory-trained technicians. Honda certified it and backed it with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Certified pre-owned Hondas are in stock now at your local Honda dealer. Drive worry-free with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Honda certified it. Only when you buy at your local Honda dealer.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket.
My family loves going foraging by our farm, and with Cricket, we can mark our location, post photos, even identify mushrooms.
Don't have to look far for a good deal. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Florida Atlantic and Illinois in game 1 of the Jimmy V Classic, presented by Corona, coming to you from Madison Square Garden. We are not that far away from Grand Central Terminal. Dusty May, as promised, with Angel Gray.
Coach, there was a point where you had 3 turnovers in 3.5 minutes. You guys look like a completely different team since then. What was the conversation to just find some poise?
Well, we were a little bit sped up. We got the ball to the rim and traveled a few times and dropped a couple passes. We just got to settle in and not be afraid of getting our shots blocked.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Again, what a run and what high hopes they have for this year. But their philosophy, Jay, is turn the page. Last year was fantastic, but turn the page and set your sights. Don't dwell on it. Set your sights on what you have to do tonight to win a game.
Yeah, last year's over, but what last year gives them is the confidence and belief. Not only they can do it, they have done it. And they're capable of doing it again. But you can't get to the Final Four right now. You're just preparing yourself to win a championship.
How about the move from Conference USA to the American?
I think it'll help. You know, it's great competition, but this team can play with anybody and beat anybody.
Gaffney had to work very hard. Offensive rebound, Rosado.
And that kills Brad Underwood. He's talked solely about rebounding the last couple days.
Hawkins to the floor, but it bounces to the Owls. Gaffney. Davis. And shuffled his feet. And another turnover. Both teams kind of plagued by turnovers now. The Owls 6, the Illini 7. And don't forget, we got another game coming. And how much fun is this going to be? There's nothing quite like UConn fans and Hartford Whaler fans invading Madison Square Garden. And Carolina will have their share of fans here, of course, but you and I, you know as well as I do, there are going to be a lot of Husky fans in the building.
Well, it's not often that North Carolina plays in Madison Square Garden, and they have fewer crowd participation. It's going to be a decidedly UConn crowd in here.
Hawkins. And it will go. And Illinois back within 1.
Illinois is doing a great job of taking advantage of matchups. You know, they get a matchup they like, they're going after that. What a steal.
And the finish at the other end. He can do stuff that not a lot of 5 men can do. Steals, handling the ball, shooting from outside. He is a very versatile player.
Well, he led Illinois in rebounding and assists last year. Good cutter. But he's an excellent passer as well that can take a big guy out on the perimeter.
Now he commits the foul on Rosado. He is saying his arm got hooked.
Bit of a lazy pass by John L. Davis. He thought it was just going to be easily completed to Rosado, but a terrific job of shooting the gap by Coleman Hawkins. He's been out for a few games with a knee thing, but now he's back. He played in the last game against Rutgers and played well, but he looks like he feels even better than he did against Rutgers.
Second foul there. He goes to the bench. Dane Danger back in. Greenlee with the ball for the Owls. Now Gaffney with 7 to shoot. Boy, they are having to work hard. Step back 3, not close. Good defensive stand by the Illini.
Well, first, Luke Goody did a nice job of staying in front. They're not allowing angles and straight line drives. It's difficult to keep Florida Atlantic to one side of the floor. But if you can keep them out of the paint where you don't have to bring as much help, once you bring help, they are excellent in attacking the help.
Illinois on a 6-0 run since Vlad Golden went to the bench with 2 fouls, and to make it 8-0, another sensational drive and finish by Terrence Shannon Jr.
We'll see if Florida Atlantic adjusts this. I'm not sure you can play Terrence Shannon in drop coverage, because once he gets that ball screen, watch this ball screen, Rosado's playing back. That gives him too much space to take up that space and go right into his body, get the angle. And he's a lefty, so he's driving left, going to that left hand, and he's able to draw the contact and finish. You know, you have to force him to his right, but that's easy to say when you're getting a ball screen that's taking him to his left and you don't have any help.
Rosado to the bench with his second. Trey Carroll, a redshirt sophomore from Punta Gorda, Florida, is into the game. And they spent a lot of time, Florida Atlantic did in the shoot-around today, talking about Terrence Shannon is going to drive. He is going to try to get to the rim and score. But again, it's one thing to know it's coming, another thing to stop it. What a feed by Carroll just into the game as he finds Martin.
Well, you turn your head. This is an excellent cutting Florida Atlantic team. And Elijah Martin is a stud, man. That guy is a player.
Tested the waters, as did Johnell Davis. Both of them decided to come back. Danger lays it in.
If Florida Atlantic's going to play small, that means Illinois is going to attack any matchup they have that gives them an advantage. And Danger's much bigger than Carroll and just bullied him down into the post.
But Carroll can do that as he knocks down the three. And now both teams, the offense is picking up here late in the first half.
You think Dusty May's willing to trade 3 for 2 with Trey Carroll knocking that shot down, the lefty?
Shannon driving again, and it's off him, out of bounds. The second time we have seen that here tonight. So back come the Owls, looking to reclaim the lead.
Action being run out of the middle of the floor.
Gaffney around the screen. Back to Carroll. Spinning. And a foul called on Danger.
Danger just reached with that right hand instead of just being big and make Carroll finish over you. It's a nice right hand drive, then spin back to his left. Watch Danger's right hand. See, he went for it and just reached over the top of him. That's going to be a foul every time. Instead of just stay big and make him finish a tough shot.
So Carroll at the line had 11 points in just 9 minutes off the bench in a win earlier this year against Butler.
You really have to stay down on his fakes. He's got an excellent shot fake. He's usually shot fake and left drive, but even with that right drive, he's spinning back to get to that left hand. And you are jealous of that hair, are you not?
Only marginally more jealous than you would be.
Yeah.
Remember, when they take a shot of us from behind, it's hard to tell us apart.
Exactly.
There you go.
No, our director, Mike Roig, is always at the ready for that shot.
Yeah.
I think they have a dedicated camera to the back of our skulls.
He keeps telling us that's the shot that's going to win him an Emmy. Damask with the size advantage and used it well.
Just a back down. Seems like Villanova didn't invent it, but they kind of made it famous. And he just took Greenlee and backed him down into the post, got no help.
Davis into the paint. Got
fake.
2 in the air and draws the foul.
What a fake. He's so good in pick and roll situations, right or left, equally effective.
It's close, just as we hoped and thought it would be in game 1 of the Jimmy V Classic from New York City.
See the featured attraction. It's Caitlin Clark behind the back. Are you kidding me? And there's the 3-ball. Clark, step back. Good. I'm too fast. I'm in control. Foot on the gas. That's the money play right there. Is there a better closer in the game? You don't want me to be better than you. You don't want me to be better.
What she is a bucket. Caitlin Clark in a big game between Iowa and Iowa State tomorrow night, 7 Eastern on ESPN2. She is 22 points away from 3,000 career points. Seems like a pretty safe bet, don't you think?
That's Pistol Pete territory. 3,000 points. That's hard to fathom.
Got a good one to go in here. Illinois up a point on Florida Atlantic. Just the second ever meeting between these two programs. They met in Champaign in 2018, and the Owls won the game in overtime.
2 shots.
Illinois is shooting 62% in this game, and it's tied. And I think one of the things that shows you is that Florida Atlantic is much better when Vlad Golden's on the floor. And he has not been on the floor as much as Dusty May would like because of his 2 fouls.
It's V Week at ESPN, when we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. This is game-changing research that saves lives. You can join the fight against cancer by visiting v.org/donate. And as Jay mentioned off the top of the show, 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. Well, to your point about Golden, and different people will give you different opinions of the plus-minus statistic in basketball, but the Owls are +8 when he has been in the game tonight, and after that, they're getting a little better, but -4 when he has been on the bench. But John L. Davis says, even if the big guy's on the bench, I got you.
Well, you give him that much space, he's going to pull the trigger. And Davis was brilliant against Texas A&M. That was a fantastic game that the Owls played against the Aggies. He had 26. Elijah Martin had 25. There's another one. You put the ball on the floor against Florida Atlantic as a big guy, they're taking it from you. You're not going to be able to dribble. It's kind of like against Marquette. And Dane Danger tried to dribble against Marquette. They took it from him in that one.
I would like to see Marquette play Florida Atlantic. Is it too late to get that on the schedule this year?
I would like to see those two teams play anybody. Those are two of the most entertaining, well-coached teams in basketball. I think Brad Underwood's telling Dane Danger right now, you cannot dribble against these guys. Get low post position, make a move. Other than that, you get it, get rid of it.
Both teams really using their third big right now because of the foul issues. And ripping down with a rebound is that guy, Amani Hansberry, a freshman from Silver Spring, Maryland. Look at the speed. Look at the speed from Terrence Shannon Jr.
Speed and elevation. And talk about rip and run. He gets the ball. He doesn't need to outlet it to anybody. Just go. And nobody was able to stop the ball.
He is a special talent. Meanwhile, Trey Carroll knocks down another three.
Well, for Trey Carroll to be able to come into this game, play the 5 and play with this kind of confidence, that's impressive. What a pass.
And the bucket underneath for Hansberry.
Florida Atlantic has found it really difficult to keep Illinois out of the lane. Right now it's Illinois getting into the paint to make things happen. What a stop move.
Martin, no. And then it looks like a tie-up, and it is underneath. The arrow gives it back to the Illini.
Terrence Shannon Jr. This is called getting downhill in the open floor. Just gets to that left hand and forget it. And Trey Carroll able to knock down that 3. That's going to require a big guy to come out and get him and open up some things to the basket for Florida Atlantic's cuts. Here's another back down against Greenlee.
Damask, good defense by Greenlee, but Damask again with a big size advantage gets the shot off and scores.
And showed some poise down there in the post. Didn't panic, just took the bump and was able to pivot around and finish over the top.
Your nightly Jay Billis alliteration is brought to you by. You like that poise in the post and no panic.
A lot of alliteration from anxious analysts placed in powerful posts.
That never ceases to amuse me.
Broadcast News, Albert Brooks.
Inside a minute to go in the half. A very slow start offensively for both teams, but it has really picked up. Harmon, the former Wolverine, brings him back within 1.
How hard is it to guard the dribble in this game? So many players that can make individual dribble moves.
1-point game, 50 seconds to go in a fun first half.
John L. Davis is a great basketball player, and he's a two-way player. Plays excellent on the offensive end. He's great on pick and rolls. He can shoot it. He's got a good mid-range game. He finishes around the basket with creativity, and he's an excellent defender. But you give him some space when he's got the advantage. Dane Danger playing off him. And speaking of playing off him, I would play off Seth Greenberg as far as I could get away.
Kevin Agandi and Jay Will in the house here at the Garden for the Jeep halftime report. Highlights for the first half, and they will preview our big second game between North Carolina and Connecticut. Davis is the high scorer in the game with 13. Shannon leads Illinois with 9. The Illini, by the way, Jay, after starting slowly, have made 10 of their last 11 shots.
And most of those shots have come in the paint. They're getting all the way to the rim, whether in transition or in the half court.
Martin, contested 3. Long rebound to Davis.
Davis, an excellent offensive rebounding guard.
Nice little step in, and the spin up and in will go for Gaffney.
Jalen Gaffney transferred in to Florida Atlantic from UConn. Really good playmaker and just a connector out there on the floor.
Shot clock turned off here towards the end of the first half.
I'm not even sure Terrence Shannon needs a ball screen. He can just take off. He got the switch now with Trey Carroll on him.
He'll hoist a three. An air ball. The follow won't go. And the first half comes to a close. So both teams really picked it up offensively in the second half of the half. And it's 42-39 for the Owls over the Illini as the officials are talking to the players. There was a battle for a loose ball there at the end of the half, and they did. There are zeros on the clock. Everybody's going to the locker rooms now.
And Florida Atlantic to just one shot. Illinois shot 61% in that first half, and yet they're trailing.
Vlad Golden, who spent a lot of the first half on the bench in foul trouble, makes his presence felt immediately here in the second half.
And that's going to be the issue for Illinois in this second half, is dealing with a Florida Atlantic team that has Vlad Golden in the lineup. He's got 9 points. He's only played 6 minutes.
Shannon almost threw it away. It's kicked out to Damask.
And Golden on that drive by Shannon just walled up, and a great vertical contest.
Hawkins with a size advantage, kicks it out. Damask wide open for three, and he knocks it down right as the shot clock was expiring.
Really smart pass by Coleman Hawkins. He saw that Vlad Golden was in the lane, and that's a long closeout to Damask. That was a beautiful skip pass to the other side of the floor.
Brandon Weatherspoon can't get the shot off over Guerrier. Guerrier's got a big size advantage there. And now it looks like it's one-on-one with the big fellas. Golden off the glass and good as we check in with Angel Gray.
I was able to catch up with Dusty, and he told me the reason that they had the lead is because they were able to actually finish better in the paint. He said, we're not hesitating. We stopped rushing. He also said Trey Carroll came off of the bench, settled them down with big shots, and also in the 5 spot created a great presence. If you were wondering about the adjustments against Terrence Shannon Jr., he said switching coverages. He's too dynamic of a player. We have to make sure that we do not allow him to continue to get downhill.
And again, easier said than done with a guy as good and as fast as Shannon is, wide open in the corner, and that's like a layup for John L. Davis.
And the reason John L. Davis was wide open is he made himself available. He relocated. You know, Vlad Golden got a double team. Quincy Guerrier came over, doubled him, and Davis moved to the corner into the vision of Vlad Golden. That's just a great cut by John L. Davis.
And at the other end, Marcus Damask again with a strong driving layup. He's keeping him in the game right now. He's got 13.
And the more that Coleman Hawkins can pull Vlad Golden away from the basket, the more Illinois can protect it.
Davis called for a travel.
Traveling violation, Illinois basketball.
Now watch John L. Davis here. He's up top, and then Vlad Golden gets the double team. And then Davis just relocates to the corner. And Domas doesn't stay with him, and he gets that easy shot off that relocation pass. Just a great cut, and Elijah Martin got out of that area. That was a really smart play by those 2 guards.
Who were picked as co-preseason player of the year in the new conference, or in the conference they are now in, the American Conference. As Illinois creeps a little bit closer, back within 3. Another bucket for Damask.
Damask is so crafty. Good pass.
Martin wide open. Too strong on the 3. Shot clock did not reset. Weatherspoon will try one. Too strong. Another offensive rebound.
Tough to get blockouts against these guards when the rebounds are long.
Davis, no. Boy, 3 looks at it, but the Owls come up empty.
Seems like when it's long or loose, Florida Atlantic's coming up with it.
Guerrier, strong drive, draws the foul. He's okay. And if it's Golden, and it is, it's his 3rd.
A couple of Vlad Golden's fouls have been things he needs to avoid. You know, go after what you can get, but if it's a risk, don't take it. You know, he's got all the right instincts, but you don't want to let Guerrier go, but just give a little bit of pressure late. You're beat there, and fouling doesn't put you in a better position.
So at the line, Quincy Guerrier as Golden heads to the bench. Guerrier, the fifth-year senior out of Montreal, who was recruited by Brad Underwood out of high school. And that relationship stayed intact as he went to Syracuse, went to Oregon, and when he went back into the transfer portal again, Brad Underwood said, how about now? And third time's a charm for the Illini as Guerrier will play his final season in Champaign.
Guerrier is an excellent rebounder. He's leading this team in rebounding right now. And he'll be among the rebounding leaders, if not the leader, all year long.
Rosado into the game for Golden.
But how about that recovery by Terrence Shannon? Got picked up on that screen, still got back around in front.
Rosado, that's a tough pass. Not a lot of space in there, and another Florida Atlantic turnover.
But that's again Florida Atlantic attacking the help. That cut from the left corner by Elijah Martin. They didn't complete it, but the idea was a good one.
Ty Rodgers at the point. No real true point guard. It's kind of a point guard by committee situation for Illinois. A number of their big guards can all handle it.
Damask can handle it. Terrence Shannon can play the point.
And they're all good at using their size and strength to get where they want to get.
Well, Damask is almost like playing a one-on-one game in the driveway. He's not blowing by people. He's just using his pivoting and his strength to get shots up.
Illinois has come all the way back to take the lead here early in the second half.
Good pressure on the ball by Ty Rodgers out front on Greenlee.
Martin. And a foul committed by Guerrier. So a 1-point lead for Illinois. And Jay, how about the job that Marcus Damask has done for the Illini here in the second half?
The former Wisconsin Mr. Basketball that was all Missouri Valley Conference. Talk about a guy that knows how to play. Creating some space against Rosado, the little fadeaway. He's having himself a great game.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. Plus America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away.
Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or $2,500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Jimmy, my man up there, we are not going to stop chasing the dream to beat cancer.
You're stronger than you know.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Welcome back to the Jimmy V Men's Classic presented by Corona. And as always, a very special thank you to Corona for their continued support of the V Foundation. Well, Dickie V would love to be here tonight. He is down at his home in Florida, and you can participate in Dickie V's Super 16 Basketball Bash. It's a raffle for a chance to win an experience for you and one other person to join Dickie V and his basketball friends at his home for dinner and the Hoops Hysteria Tournament on March the 28th. To purchase a ticket, visit v.org/Super 16. Our guy Dickie V, the best news of all, because Dick has had 3 different bouts with cancer over the last 3 years or so. He has gotten a clean bill of health. Unfortunately, his voice has not bounced back as much as he would like. His last fight with cancer was vocal cord cancer, and his voice is just, it's coming along. And if you know Dickie V, you know he's going to do everything he can to get it where he wants to get back on the air as soon as he can. But Dickie V, we know you're watching, we love you, and we, most of all, we're just so glad that you've gotten a clean bill of health.
So grateful that he's cancer-free. And talk about downhill. We've talked about that a lot. I don't know when the word downhill came into basketball. It usually just meant get to the rim.
Right.
And this young man, Terrence Shannon Jr., can get to the rim. An excellent pass ahead by Ty Rodgers, and he just cradled that ball like a running back, took the contact, and still finished it with the left hand. That's now double figures for Terrence Shannon Jr., but the assist numbers are really interesting. 12 assists on 18 field goals for Florida Atlantic, 5 assists on 21 field goals. Now it's 22 for Illinois, and it's not because Illinois is not sharing the ball, but what they're doing is taking advantage of individual matchups and going after it, and Marcus Domask has had the most.
11-0 run right now for the Illini as a game of volleyball is broken.
He didn't establish himself in bounds. He jumped from out of bounds and never hit the ground, so that's going to be out of bounds.
You know, to your point about matchups, Brad Underwood said coaching this particular Illinois team is almost like coaching in the NBA, where you're trying to exploit individual matchups instead of just let's do this, let's do that. Hey, if Domask has a matchup advantage over a smaller guard, let's use him. Let's pick on this guy. Let's pick on that guy, which is more like coaching in the NBA.
Well, and he doesn't have to call it from the bench. These guys are smart enough and old enough that they can make that decision for themselves. And not very good communication off that random ball screen set by Coleman Hawkins, and Terrence Shannon is able to knock down the three. He was able to waltz into that one.
And a 14-0 run for the Illini to turn a 7-point deficit into a 7-point lead. Gaffney draws the foul and scores.
What a strong drive by Jalen Gaffney. And he is as good driving to his left as he is to his right, but changes speeds really well. He just put on the jets as he turned that corner against Quincy Guerrier and got the angle on him and was able to complete the play. So many playmakers on this Florida Atlantic team.
And so much unselfishness. Nobody cares who's scoring the ball on any particular night. You could see that if you look through their box scores from the NCAA tournament last year. You can see that.
Yeah, the go-to guy is the open man. That's a great way to play.
Domask surrounded. Gets out of it, but is called for the offensive foul.
At first it looked like he got away with sliding his foot a little bit, but just used that left arm, I thought, to hook the defender. And that's a call that's automatic in the NBA. It's not made quite as often in college, but watch his pivot foot. Looked like he did. Yeah, he slid it there. And now Terrence Shannon is taking John L. Davis. Elijah Martin not having his best day, but a great give and go. That play still works.
The oldest play in basketball. Only 2 points so far for Martin, but he was intent on getting 2 more right here.
It was the initial almost V-cut. It looked like he was going to go and get the dribble handoff, and instead cut right to the basket past Marcus Domask, and that was a heck of a cut by Elijah Martin.
And again, we haven't seen it tonight, but what a player this guy is. He had 26 points in the Final Four loss, the national semifinal loss to San Diego State a year ago. First team All-Conference USA a year ago, and he has been on a tear, over 17 points per game in his last 5 coming into this one.
He had 25 against Texas A&M, and he's improved his defense. He's always been a good defender, but he's a much better defender now.
I think I want one of those.
One of those hats?
Yeah.
Every bald guy wants one of those hats. I'll take any hat.
Shannon, the kick. Hawkins wide open. Knew he missed it, and he saved it, but into the hands of the Owls and Gaffney. Martin the kick. Gaffney the 3. And the bounce. And the Owls are back on top.
Boy, when Florida Atlantic gets a piece of the paint, they can spray it.
Shannon. His success tonight has come from driving, not from shooting from outside. But how about Domask with an and one?
Well, give credit to Ty Rodgers, because he's the one that kept that ball alive. John L. Davis went under a screen, and Terrence Shannon Jr. pulled the trigger on a 3, but Ty Rodgers kept the ball alive. Watch Rodgers here, knocks it away, almost grabbed it himself, and wound up knocking it to Marcus Domask, and he winds up getting the end one. And that's what Illinois needs to continue to do, is pound the offensive glass. For the most part in this game, Florida Atlantic has limited Illinois to 1 shot. Heck, Illinois is shooting around 60% for the game. Not many offensive rebounds available.
Domask now with 20. That is a season high for him. Again, he's a grad transfer from Southern Illinois. His career high 32. He did that twice with Southern Illinois, but What a pickup in the portal again. Brad Underwood knew what he wanted. He wanted to get old, and they got old. 3 grad transfers, and all of them are really helping the Illini.
You know the mascot for Southern Illinois? Salukis.
Yes.
You're getting better, Dan.
Greenlee can't find any space. And Gaffney threw it away. Look out, Seth Greenberg. Make a play, coach.
Thought he might take a charge.
Yeah. Well, you knew if Jay Will caught it, he wasn't passing it to Seth.
What university is Jay Williams a professor at now with that turtleneck? Next he's going to have a pipe.
You see Jay Will coach and Kevin Agandi again in between games and halftime of the second game. Carolina and UConn still to come. And as time goes on, it's getting bluer and bluer here at Madison Square Garden. 2 different shades of blue, mind you. Corner 3 for Justin Harmon, and Illinois leads by 5.
Boy, Harmon's had some really good minutes in this game.
The former Wolverine.
He put up numbers at Utah Valley. I remember he had 32 in a game while he was playing there.
Greenlee misses the 3. Danger rips it down.
Really good block out by Danger on Rosado.
And one thing Danger does very well, as Shannon scores again. Danger can run the floor, but Shannon said, no thanks, my friend. I'll take it myself.
How hard is he to stop when he catches it on the run? It's one thing when he starts a dribble move, but he catches this ball dead on the run, and he's gone. Got an angle, gets right into the body of John L. Davis and gets past him, draws the foul, and still finishes the play with that left hand. But, you know, Dan, look, I know that was more of a transition opportunity, but Illinois is attacking the basket with impunity in large measure because Vlad Golden is sitting with Dusty May. Actually, Dusty May is standing up, but he's sitting near Dusty May, and he needs to be the game.
Very limited minutes, relatively speaking, for Golden because of foul trouble. Meanwhile, Shannon, he's 1 for 4 from 3. He's 6 for 6 on 2-pointers, and I think they've all been drives. The lob and the finish for Brennan Lorient. Greenlee the assist.
Lorient is an athlete.
Shannon the kick.
A good job by Greenlee to run Goody off the 3-point line.
Goody with multiple threes in 6 of Illinois' first 7 games so far this season as Shannon draws another foul. Well, Illinois got the 5-point lead, but Florida Atlantic just had one of the highlight plays of the night, Jay.
You get into the paint, you help up, forget it. That corner man is going to the basket and the ball's lobbed up. That's an easy finish. Impressive by Florida Atlantic.
Welcome back to the Jimmy V Men's Classic here at the Garden. The Illini up 64-59. I am here with Dr. Pallavi Tiwari. And Doctor, all week we have watched Jimmy V deliver his speech and urge people of the importance of giving to cancer research. So for you, what has the funding meant for your research, your career, and the V Foundation specifically with funding?
V Foundation has been transformational in my career. I had an interesting idea that V Foundation believed in, and where it has taken us is we are now doing real-time clinical analysis in different hospitals to build this technology that can have a transformative impact in cancer patients and their lives.
And as far as those in the support, everyone going straight to the cancer research, how important is that?
Oh, it's so important because, you know, with cancer research, you never know when that idea would hit to get us to the next level. And funding like V Foundation allows us to pursue that interesting idea, that next big idea that can change cancer care.
Last thing, how does it feel to be on the team that fights cancer?
Oh, it means that we are currently the underdogs, but we are well on our way to win the championship.
I love it.
Angel, thank you. I like that analogy. The underdogs, but on their way to winning the championship. Jay, you sit on the board of directors for the V Foundation. I don't know if you'd like to talk about some of the people. There are so many people putting in so many hours tirelessly behind the scenes to raise millions of dollars.
Well, the medical professionals are the ones that are on the front lines. The doctors, the nurses, the researchers, the scientists, and all the rest of us are role players that need, and our role is to give them the resources they need to make the consistent breakthroughs they've been making. And they're doing an amazing job. And the progress that's been made over the last 30 years is hard to fathom. And we're not to the finish line yet, but we're getting there. And any dollar that anyone can give is one step closer to finding a cure for cancer.
To learn more, to donate, go to v.org/donate. And again, 100%, every penny of your donation goes directly to cancer research.
Boy, Terrence Shannon and Marcus Damask, what are they, 17 of 23 combined? They have been spectacular. I really think Dusty May's got to think about getting Vlad Golden back in the game soon.
Golden has only played 9 minutes in this game out of about 29 minutes, and they are +7 when he is on the court, and they are -12 when he is sitting on the bench.
Now, they're just a couple of possessions down, but here he comes now. So here he comes now.
And there he goes again. That man, Terrence Shannon Jr., another layup.
They are just getting to the rim. I don't want to say at will, but Illinois has been dominating in the paint.
Shannon and Damask have combined for 43 of Illinois' 70 points.
Very nice job by Terrence Shannon to keep Greenlee to one side of the floor.
Harrell can't knock down the three. He made a couple in the first half.
You know, coaches are always telling their players, look, stay in front of him. How do you stay in front of this guy? He just Euros right around Elijah Martin after using that ball screen to get downhill. He is just a big-time player.
And again, improbably, it's the 4th time in 5 years he has played in this building in this event. Did it in 2019 and 2021 with Texas Tech, and now he's done it 2 years in a row. Illinois has come to play here with the Garden in this event 2 consecutive years.
And immediately they go into Golden. Got one-on-one in the post.
Hawkins takes it away.
And great hands by Coleman Hawkins. He must have 3 steals in this game.
Damask into the paint again. And scores again.
Well, it goes right into Golden, then pivots around to that right hand for the short little hook. He's got a lot of game. He's one of those guys that's going to dominate at the YMCA when he's in his 40s because of the way he knows how to play.
He's got 22, and 14 of them have come in the second half. Carroll the rebound. It won't stay down, and then a foul. Presumably Carroll, as Hawkins wraps up the rebound, and it's all going Illinois' way right now.
The length of Illinois is bothering Florida Atlantic around the basket. That was a shot I think Carroll should have made, just short-armed it a little bit. But that's a heck of a rebound in traffic by Coleman Hawkins.
Previous play is under review.
And something about the foul call is under review.
Coleman Hawkins was talking about his arm. I don't know whether it's some sort of hook and hold review. Don't see as many of those as we used to. Yeah, just taking a look, they thought the contact might be above the shoulders, but there was nothing there. That's just rebounding. They called the foul, common foul. Looked like Carroll caught his own teammate, Vlad Golden, in the chops.
Yeah.
That is not reviewable.
That is not reviewable. It's unfortunate, but it's not reviewable. And KB Burnett coming back to the table quickly with now Brian Dorsey, one of the officials, is coming over. They may want to take a look. Yeah, they're going to take a look at whatever replays we can offer them. Guys, fire up what you've got in the truck.
And if they want me to telestrate it, I'd be happy to. At least it increases ratings. 3 more viewers than we had a minute ago.
Yes. So just a common foul. Nothing flagrant there.
After further review, no additional punishment was adjudicated in the name of common foul.
And Illinois, which was down 3 at the half, now with a 9-point lead and the ball. And if you're just joining us, Terrence Shannon Jr. and Marcus Damask have both been sensational tonight for the Illini. Here's Damask. He's got 22. He's got 24.
He's just able, Dan, to feel where the defense is and then counter off of it. So if you get on his left side, he's going to turn back to his right. If you get on his right side, he's going to spin back to his left. That's exactly what he did on that last play.
And Brad Underwood told us at shoot-around today he played a lot of power forward for the Salukis last year. He's trimmed down a bit, and he's just more of a big, strong, physical guard right now for the Illini.
He's just a player. You know, he's not a guy you necessarily have to have a position, but he just took John L. Davis with his left hand into the lane and spun off him. There's a little bit of over pursuit, but Domas just keeps you off balance. You know, he's got strength and he plays low. You know, basketball is basically a shoulders game. You get your shoulders lower than the defender, you're going to have a leverage advantage no matter how athletic that defender is. And I think you'd argue that John L. Davis may have an athletic advantage, but the leverage advantage went to Domask on that one play.
Golden with 2 on the shot clock, a turnaround jumper.
He has really improved from Texas Tech to now. He had 19 points, 11 rebounds against Butler. It was terrific. He's an elite offensive rebounder. And even when you push him off the lane, he can make that kind of shot.
Step back and another bucket for Domas.
He's feeling it. That was like a Michael Jordan reaction. He looked over and kind of shook his head at the bench.
Golden. And 1. As Hawkins is called for the foul.
Now Hawkins tried to take a charge. If he had just jumped for a vertical contest straight up, they wouldn't have called anything. And that's what a big guy's got to do in today's game, is vertical contest rather than try to take that charge. It's just too hard to get and not worth it. Just a great roll and catch on the short roll. Just go straight up and contest that vertically. Make him finish it.
Number 3 on Hawkins. And the free throw good for Golden. And back come the Illini, still leading by 8 and having made their last 8 field goal attempts.
There's a long way to go in this one. And having Glad Golden back in the game changes everything for Florida Atlantic with his ability to screen and roll hard to the basket.
Hawkins misses the 3. Goody with a rebound. Lost it. And here come the Owls.
They have numbers.
Davis. Golden. And he missed it. Missed the chippy from about 1.5 feet away.
He hardly ever misses shots like that. Now, one of it might be rhythm. He's been out of the game for quite a while.
And a heat check there from Damask.
And one they didn't need. Certainly a shot he can make, but one they did not need.
How about the deep one there from John L. Davis? And the Owls are back within 5.
You just can't afford, Dan, to make a mistake. You know, a bad shot, and that was a bad shot. You know, leads to a run out.
Boy, it's a fun game when the ball goes through the basket. Illinois shooting a ridiculous 66% in the game, and they're only up 5. Damask again.
What a night Marcus Damask is having.
29 points for Damask. 12 for 15. Make it 13 for 16 from the field. Marcus Damask getting open often, and he just keeps burying shot after shot after shot. And the Illini need all of it because we got a good one. The Owls won't go away. John L. Davis, as deep as it gets. What a game we got going. Welcome back to the Jimmy V Men's Classic presented by Corona. At halftime of this game, executives from Corona presented a check for $2 million for cancer research to Shane Jacobson, the CEO of the V Foundation, and our own Norby Williamson, ESPN Executive Senior Vice President of Production, and like Jay, a V Foundation board member. Corona and its 400 beer distributors across the USA are partners with the V Foundation, and since 2010, Corona, its distributors, business partners, and loyal consumers have generated, get this, over $24 million in support for the V Foundation.
Cerveza más fina.
Anything we can do to help the cause.
I help it every weekend.
Elijah Martin at the line, 1-1 for the Owls. And again, this guy is a big-time player, but he has had a quiet night, averaging better than 13 points per game. Over 5 rebounds per game, too. Martin and Davis, in addition to their ability to score the ball, they're both outstanding rebounders for guards.
Well, Terrence Shannon Jr. has spent some time on him. There's been some switching, but they've done a nice job of making everything difficult on Elijah Martin. Well, Illinois this year is a much better shooting team, much better passing team than they were last year. They've always been really good defensively and on the glass. But they can generate some offense this year.
Hawkins with 6 to shoot. Knocked away, tips it back out. Shannon's got to put it up and hit it.
Well, Hawkins lost it when he tried to spin. And anytime a player spins against Florida Atlantic, they're going after it with 2 hands. But he was smart enough to be and aware enough to knock it back out to Terrence Shannon Jr.
The Illini, Jay, have scored 43 points in less than 14 minutes here in the second half.
They've been ridiculously efficient. What a steal. My goodness. He's like a defensive back in the NFL.
It's the second time he's had one of those. And a foul on Shannon.
There wasn't a lot of cutting when Coleman Hawkins got the ball, but that's a really smart play to knock it to Shannon just as the shot clock was expiring. Well, he and Domask, Shannon and Domask, have been spectacular.
They're a combined 23 for 30 with 55 points.
Kind of wondering how they missed those 7. They've been amazing throughout the course of this game.
So we just told you Illinois got 43 points in the second half. This is even more ridiculous. Shannon and Damask have 38 of the 43 points for Brad Underwood's team in the second half.
Well, if I were Brad Underwood, I'd go to one of the 2 of them down the stretch.
Yeah. And I wouldn't take him out of the game. I mean, Brad's doing a pretty good job over there and all, but he's fun to talk to, isn't he?
Oh, he's great.
At practice.
Yeah, he played his last year of college at Kansas State for the great Jack Hartman.
Guerrier with Damask posting. And now Shannon.
And Coleman Hawkins being away from the basket takes Vlad Golden away from the basket.
Here he goes. Pass is deflected. 2 to shoot.
He doesn't know it.
He got it off, but hit the side of the backboard, and a shot clock violation.
I think Brad Underwood's talking about the cylinder right there.
Still lots of time, and Florida Atlantic, an explosive offensive team, down by 8, 5:20 to go. Golden, and count the basket. So it's a goaltend, the basket counts, and a foul, which means Golden is going to the line, and Hawkins is steamed.
Help was eliminated on the backside. Coleman Hawkins was playing side high. They just threw over the top. I'm not sure whether that hit the backboard first. 2 hands in the back. Yeah, it did hit the backboard, so that's a good call.
And they're going to look at it. This is one of the new rules. And when in doubt, make a call on a goaltend, because then you can go look at it. If you don't call anything, if you don't call it a goaltend, you can't go look at it.
But the initial call is correct,
right?
Because that hit the backboard first, and once it hits the backboard, you got to leave it alone. Backboard, block.
So the call stands. The basket is good. The fourth foul on Hawkins, and a free throw coming for Golden.
Hawkins didn't know that he was all by himself there. That's one where you'd want to readjust position, just stay behind.
And Hawkins is going to sit. Picked up his fourth. Danger's back in.
And Justin Harmon in the game for Illinois. That's Vlad Golden at the one.
Big difference. And again, he hasn't played many minutes. He's put up big numbers in the minutes in which he's been in there. Just matched his career high with 19 points despite not playing very much tonight.
He just adds a different dimension to this Florida Atlantic team. Rim protection, rebounding.
Damask, two more.
How much game does this guy have? It's ridiculous. He's just completely under control, and he's not necessarily blowing by people. He does it with his strength and craftiness.
31 tonight, one shy of his career high, and another chance for a three-point play. This time it's Martin.
Illinois now is reaching. Just keep your body in front and show your hands, because anytime there's a reach, they're calling a foul. Harmon trying to stay in front, but just reaches down and winds up picking up the foul. That wasn't on the body contact, it was on the reach.
And Elijah Martin is getting it going here in the last few minutes.
And the free throw line's allowing Florida Atlantic to creep ever closer. It's one thing to make the basket, but we've seen Illinois foul and put them on the line.
And they are outscoring Illinois by 7 at the line. They've been there 8 more times and have made 7 more, and they're back within 4.
We got Greenlee on danger inside. Give him the ball.
The pass knocked away.
Just great read by Elijah Martin,
who misses the 3. And Harmon bumped by Golden, but they don't call the foul and they play on. Shannon driving again. Too strong off the glass. Saved, and it belongs to the Owls.
That looked like a foul by Golden, that second one.
And a travel will turn it back over to Illinois. Good no call?
Yeah, I guess it was. A lot of body contact, but you could argue that he was vertical and moving backwards.
Golden getting his longest stretch of minutes in the game here in this last few minutes. Damask unstoppable tonight.
The back down.
Wow, he's just making it look easy. 33.
This has been like a one-on-one game.
Greenlee. Whoa, good catch by Gaffney. Under 4 to go. And Gaffney is fouled. 3:46 to go. What a game this has been. Marcus Damask having a monster of a night. Illinois leading Florida Atlantic by 6. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Corona Extra. Find the fine life. Live La Vida Más Fina. Well, Friday night at Allen Fieldhouse, Tristan Newton put on a show. Connecticut did not win the game, but Newton hit 6 threes, scored 31 points at the Fog as Kansas held off Connecticut 69-65. Had a great year last year, an even better year this year. What a matchup this is going to be as UConn takes on North Carolina. Top 10 matchup. Two teams that just have won so many championships between them. Carolina 6, UConn 5, and this being the Garden. A lot of Husky fans A lot of Huskies fans will be here in the building tonight. This place is pretty good when UConn is pretty good. And needless to say, UConn is pretty good.
They're better, pretty good.
Yep.
But how about the performance that Illinois has put on? Marcus Domask, the transfer from Southern Illinois, 33 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He's 15 of 20 from the field. One of the most impressive things about Illinois' performance in this game, aside from Domask and Terrence Shannon Jr., has been they've kept Florida Atlantic completely out of transition. No fast break points at all for Florida Atlantic in this game.
So you may have seen that note, the most points in a Jimmy V Men's Classic game since our own Shea Will scored 38 in a turtleneck for Duke back in 2001. At the line, Jalen Gaffney, still lots of time. And this is a 4-point game.
Not hard to imagine where Brad Underwood wants to go in these last possessions. Shannon, Domask.
Yeah. He's got 2 outstanding options who have combined for 59 points.
Luke Goody setting a screen there so he can play a little pick and pop. Boy, when you can use a guard that shoots it like Goody in screen roll situations, it's pretty impressive.
Harmon rejected by Golden. And here come the Owls.
The great wall. Nowhere to go.
Davis. Goody trying to stay in front of him, and he does.
Good pass.
Golden makes it a 2-point game.
You talk about the value of Vlad Golden, the block and the score on the other end. He's a difference maker.
Incredibly productive in limited minutes tonight. Hawkins is as open as a guy can be and buries a 3.
Little step up screen and then popping out to the 3-point line. Vlad Golden in drop coverage stays with the ball. And Coleman Hawkins was wide open. And to his credit, he took his time on that 3-point shot. The step up screen, drop coverage. What does Mike Breen say? Bang! Well executed by Illinois.
Check out Honda certified pre-owned vehicles. They are like new and only available at your local Honda dealer. Checked, inspected, and reconditioned with genuine Honda parts by factory-trained technicians. Honda certified it and backed it with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Certified pre-owned Hondas are in stock now at your local Honda dealer. Drive worry-free with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Honda certified it. Only when you buy at your local Honda dealer.
People who come to cricket stay with cricket.
When I'm up here, I'm always going live. I'm always streaming to promote myself, and cricket helps me do all that with reliable service.
Are we live? Please tell me you're getting this. Smile, you're on cricket.
Well, tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern, an NBA doubleheader begins with the Spurs taking on the T-Wolves, and then the defending champion Denver Nuggets are in L.A. to go up against the Clippers. Coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the app. A young Knicks fan here in the Knicks home arena tonight, where another college game is coming your way. The Huskies are in the house. Carolina and UConn. How much fun does that sound like in the second game of the Jimmy V Men's Classic presented by Corona? Number 5 against number 9. Both teams can get up and down the floor. Both teams can really score. UConn a little banged up coming into the game, but they are getting back. Jay freshman Stephon Castle. We'll talk about him much more in game 2, but we have what figures to be an exciting conclusion to game 1. And how about that shot?
Little action playing behind, and Elijah Martin caught that firing.
And this is as close as the Owls have been in a while.
What an answer to that Coleman Hawkins bucket.
He needs some help. Domask with 10 to shoot. Guarded by Greenlee. 3 to shoot. Hoists it up, doesn't hit it. Hawkins is fouled.
What a job by Coleman Hawkins to get inside position for that offensive rebound. And offensive rebounds for Illinois have been at a premium. One, they've shot the ball really well, so there haven't been all that many. But he just gets inside position on Vlad Golden as that shot was going up. Just really smart play by Coleman Hawkins.
4 on Golden, so he and Hawkins each now playing with 4 as Hawkins makes the front end.
And Hawkins has always been a playmaker for Illinois, a really good passer. But I think that Brad Underwood would like him to concentrate more on being an effective scorer, because he's got the ability to score.
"13 lead changes in this game."
What a matchup, Martin and Shannon.
Golden left hand, a bit short, got it back, and is fouled.
Ty Rogers got him with the right hand from behind as he was going up for that shot. What an offensive rebounder Vlad Golden is. Hawkins does a good job of pushing him off the lane. Made it a difficult left-handed hook, but Golden just quick to the ball.
Shooting 2.
Golden has played 21 minutes tonight. Excuse me, 18 minutes tonight. And has just piled up the numbers. This could be a whole different story for the Gals had he not gotten into foul trouble in the first half.
And you don't want to take away any of Vlad Golden's aggressiveness as a player. You just want those fouls to be smarter. And he's picked up a few. That last one was just a rebounding foul. But he's picked up a couple he didn't need to.
Boy, 2 costly misses. Almost stolen away by Martin right under the basket.
Better get that over.
Shannon fouled by Davis, and he'll be going to the free throw line.
Boy, there's just a couple seconds left on the clock to be able to get that over. Not the smartest of fouls at that point in the clock.
18 foul on Florida Atlantic, so 1-and-1 for Shannon. He comes into the game as a 72% free throw shooter on the season.
Terrence Shannon's going to spend a lot of time at the free throw line this year with the way he attacks the basket. He shoots just under 6 free throws a game on the season. He's going to wear out that free throw line in the Big Ten.
Made them both, and it's back to a 6-point lead. What started off as a low-scoring game is anything but. 93-87 with a minute and a half to go.
A good job by Domas to blow up that dribble handoff.
Golden again, 1-on-1, left hand, makes it a 4-point game. Timeout, Dusty May.
Golden's one of those righties that really prefers going to his left hand when he's around the basket. Coleman Hawkins took a swipe at it, just didn't get it. Just snakes this pick and roll and drop coverage and just drops it off. When Golden able to get that inside position, he just goes right into the middle. He's so comfortable with that left hand. Those are not easy shots, but he makes it look easy.
Well, the best thing about this event is raising money to support cancer research. But maybe not a close second, but second is matchups you don't see anywhere else in an arena like this, and certainly this game has lived up to the hype.
Yeah, and you got to give Florida Atlantic a lot of credit. They played a really difficult schedule thus far in the season. I mean, they beat Butler, beat Texas A&M, they blew out Virginia Tech. You got to ask yourself, how good is Bryant? I mean, Bryant beat Florida Atlantic.
They held them to 51 points.
Kind of shy that anybody could hold this team to 51 points. They're really good. I'm really impressed with Illinois and the way the Illini have played in this game. I mean, to put up 93 points in this game, and the play of Terrence Shannon Jr., which I think we expected, but Marcus Domask who we knew was really good from Southern Illinois, and he's had some good games already in an Illini uniform. But to come into this game and put up 30+, and the way he's handled the ball, handled pressure, what an impressive performance by both Shannon and Damask.
Again, a career high for Damask with 33. Golden is on the bench at the moment. It's 5 guards, really. Well, they've got Lorien, but he's a little more mobile than Golden. They've got him in there right now. Martin almost stole it, but couldn't keep it in bounds.
And Florida Atlantic, if Justin Harmon catches the ball, they're going after him. They went after him with an immediate trap and almost got a steal.
Greenlee fouls Shannon.
I'm not sure Dusty May wanted that right there.
9th team foul, so still 1-1 as Golden's getting ready to check back in.
Illinois in the single bonus. Glad Golden returns for FAU.
One of the things right now for Florida Atlantic is making sure they get good free throw blockouts here. You know, Vlad Golden's over 7 feet tall, but John L. Davis is a guard down in that low spot. And if there's a miss here, if Illinois can work that second slot, maybe get a tap out, they can gain an extra possession.
Shannon now 7 for 8 from the line in this game. Made them both. Just matched his career high with 30 points. 2 guys on the same team hitting 30 in the same game. Greenlee to Golden. Too strong. Illinois ball as we near the final minute of regulation.
Really good challenge by Coleman Hawkins off that drop off. And that's going to be it for Golden.
Golden just fouled out. I mean, they could have played out the possession, still almost a minute to go, but he reached in and fouled out.
Even though it wasn't extended minutes for Vlad Golden, the minutes he was in there, he played great. Just got to be a little more judicious on where he gives up fouls.
And now 2 shots for Shannon.
So right now, with this being a 3-possession game for Illinois, for the Illini, no fouls, no threes. You give up a drive, that's one thing. Give up a 2, that's fine. You give up a 3, that's a problem.
And a turnover. Miscommunication there between Davis and Gaffney. Shannon gets it over, is fouled yet again, and the Illini can feel it right now.
That's gonna pretty much do it. Boy, what a performance by Illinois. The exploitation of matchups throughout the course of this game in the favor of Illinois has been impressive. It's not been, last year they were not a high assist team because they weren't a great passing team. I don't know what the exact assists are in this game, but it's not one of their highest totals, but their decision making was excellent in going after the matchup in their favor. And those matchups, Marcus Domask and Terrence Shannon Jr., they exploited those all game long. They're going to hang 100 on Florida Atlantic in this game.
63% from the field, 40% from 3, and even with that miss, 90% from the line.
Those are pretty good numbers.
Davis for 3. And Damask the rebound. He's done everything tonight.
I don't think they'll foul here, just run the clock out. We'll give Illinois a lot of credit. Illinois has won more games than any other team in the Big Ten the last 4 years. And they've got a chance to challenge Purdue in the Big Ten.
They beat Texas in overtime in this event in this building last year, and they'll get another victory here tonight, beating the Owls 98-89 in a really fun basketball game.